the Inverclyde Council's Audit Committee. This meeting has been held remotely and also in person and will be filmed and recorded for live and subsequent broadcasts available through the Council's website. The Council is a data controller under the General Data Protection Regulations and the Data Protection Act 2018. We broadcast and record Council meetings to fulfil our public task obligation to enable members of the public to observe the democratic process. Data collected during the process will be retained in accordance with Council published policies available through the Council's website. Members of the Council are reminded they should follow the Council's established meeting protocols, including around the use of the chat facility, and that comments made in the chat facility are visible to all participants in the meeting, which may include members of the public who have also received invites to the meeting. Lindsay.
Apologies for absence from Councillor Maguire, with Councillor McCabe substituting Councillor Curley and Councillor Lowe. Convener will now move to a roll call. Can the following members please indicate if they are present at the meeting, either in person or remotely? Councillor Clopperty. Present in chamber. Councillor Crowther.
Present in chamber.
Councillor Halier.
Present remotely.
Councillor McCabe.
Present remotely.
Councillor McCormick.
Present remotely.
Councillor McVeigh.
In chamber.
Councillor Nelson. Councillor Reynolds.
Present remotely.
Councillor Wilson.
Present in the chamber.
Are there any declarations of interest?
Right, thanks for that, Lindsay. I'd like to welcome Samantha White, who's standing in today. Welcome, Samantha. Are you there? Well, welcome, Samantha, anyway. We move to agenda item number 2 under performance management. Internal audit progress report from the 1st of December 25 to the 20th of February 26. Andy.
Thanks, Chair. So through yourself, this is a regular progress report on internal audit activity since the last Audit Committee meeting in January. Covers the period 1st of December 2025 to the 28th of February 2026. There were no audit reports finalised in the period, and fieldwork for the remainder of the plan is ongoing. It's anticipated that fieldwork will be completed by the end of April in order to provide the year-end audit opinion. For internal audit actions, there were 3 actions due for completion by the 31st of January. 1 action has been reported as completed, and for 2 actions a revised action date has been set. 1 action relates to the management of expenditure in relation to section payments, and the other action relates to including an action in the delivery plan to ensure compliance with record management requirements. There are 10 current actions being progressed by officers, and officers are in attendance today if there are any queries on the audit actions themselves. In relation to corporate fraud activity, the National Fraud Initiative matches continue to be investigated. Focus for the team has been on the single person discount matches, which has resulted in a number of discounts being removed. Audit Scotland will take a snapshot of the position at the 31st of March and provide an overview of the exercise after the summer recess, which will then be reported to Audit Committee thereafter. The team also continues to review the validity of council tax exemptions, and work to date in this financial year has identified overpayments of around £84,000. Thank you, Chair. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Andy. There's actually some good stuff in there. Any questions from colleagues? Councillor Crowther.
Thank you, Convener. On page 17, under the non-compliance with records retention and disposal policy, it's marked up as amber. But when we look across the status, there's a tick beside it, and the action status for a tick indicates that it's completed. Should that amber not actually read green?
Andy?
That's page 17.
Through yourself, Chair. So there were different actions for the records retention, Councillor Crowther. So that one in particular that you're referring to, that was within public protection services. So they've actually completed their part of the overall action plan. The revised action is in relation to the legal services. So that's the one that's still ongoing and is set out within section 4. Hopefully that clarifies it for you.
Okay, that's very nice, lovely, thank you. Does this for that?
Any other questions? Yes, Councillor McVeigh.
Thank you, Convener. Page 18, section 4, there's a misdeadline, the first item on that page. Can somebody tell me why that, or how that deadline has been missed?
Andy?
Chair, that would probably be for the service to respond to, so possibly Samantha if she's on the call. The only update I have is that it was more work required than originally anticipated, but Samantha may be able to give more detail to committee.
Samantha, welcome to the committee. You've got your first question.
Unfortunately, I'd have to take it away because I'm not aware of the reason, but I will get a response and come back to you.
Okay, Councillor McVeigh.
Okay, next item on that page as well. The deadline has been missed. It's now set for the 30th of April, and the commentary it's telling us it's anticipated to be met by the end of April. So different language there, Convener, which makes me a wee bit concerned. So is the service confident that they're going to make that deadline?
Andy?
Through yourself, Chair, I think Vicky's in chambers. Vicky can provide an update.
Vicky?
Yes, I'm comfortable that we'll be able to meet that deadline on behalf of legal services.
Okay, thank you. Thanks.
Okay, Councillor McVeigh.
Yes, thanks.
You got 1 out of 2. Any other questions?
Yes.
Councillor McCabe, I couldn't forget Councillor McCabe.
Yeah, I thought you were forgetting me there, Chair. Can I ask a question on Appendix 1? Obviously, all of the outstanding audits are underway, with the exception of supplier management, which is an audit brought forward from the previous year. Just to ask, are we confident that audit is going to be completed this year?
Through yourself, Chair. So we've already started the planning for that. We started that ahead of the 24-25 audit year. We're just waiting on the policy had to be updated, Councillor McCabe, and we were waiting for a bit of time for that to bed in within services. But the work plan, if you like, is ready to go just as soon as we can get that carried out. And we're hoping that field work certainly would be completed by the end of April. If there are any significant issues arising, we would then be able to include that within the year-end audit opinion. But work has already started on that. It's just a timing issue in terms of when we can actually carry out the detailed field work for that particular audit.
Okay,
Hopefully
thank you.
that provides. Thank you.
David, do you want to comment on that? No, sure. Okay. Any other questions? No. The action item the recommendation is to recommended that we note the progress made by the internal audit in the period from the 1st of December 25 to 20th of February 26. Are we happy to note the progress?
Agreed.
Thank you. Move on to external audit action plans, agenda item number 3. Andy.
Thanks, Chair. So this is a regular status report that's provided to committee at each cycle. There was one external audit action due for completion by the 31st of January, which has been reported as completed by management, and there are 3 current actions being progressed by officers, and officers are in attendance today if there's any questions on the report. Thank you, Chair.
Any questions for Andy, colleagues? Seeing none. Councillor McCabe?
Apologies, Chair, that's a legacy hand. I'm used to systems that lower my hand automatically. Thank you.
That's quite all right. Well, I see there's no questions in the chamber. There's no questions online. We are asked at 2.1 and recommend that members note the progress in relation to the implementation of external audit actions. Are we happy to note the progress? Thank you, colleagues. Move on to agenda item number 4, Local Government of Scotland Finance Bulletin, 24-25. David, Chief Financial Officer.
Thank you, Mayor. The purpose of this report is to present the the Accounts Commission's report on local government finance bulletin for 24-25. This is an annual report which analyses the local authority accounts for the preceding year and identifies any key messages or recommendations arising from that. The full report is attached to Appendix 2, while Appendix 1 provides a summary of the key messages and recommendations from an Inverclyde perspective. And this highlights that Inverclyde is already compliant with the majority of the recommendations made by the Accounts Commission. Happy to take any questions.
Thank you, David. Colleagues, any questions about this report to David? I don't see any in the chamber and nobody online. In that case, are we happy to note the findings of the Accounts Commission report and the current position of Inverclyde Council in relation to the finding? Are we happy to do so?
Yep, great, yeah.
Thank you very much. That concludes this Audit Committee.
Thank you, Chair.
Thanks, Chair.
Thank you, Chair.
I don't think it